Hey, what's going on, world? Thank you for tuning in to Impressive Divinity 888. You already know I am here to bring you that guided motivational message. It's going to get you through the day. All right. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in and we're going to get you a message. All right. So we're going to pull a few cards here from this tarot deck. All right. We had a chance to listen to my last few readings. I pretty much said I'm going to use the tarot decks for your overall energy. And then we take a look here at this handy dandy, where'd I put it at? Guidebook. All right. And then we get the specific message that's needed for you. All right. Now, each and every card has its own definition, own meaning. All right. But I like the way the messages in this book are portrayed. All right. All right. So I hope your day is going by good. Here we got a little bit of cloud. All right. A little bit of rain, but it ain't going to stop our shine. Need I say more? All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. Let's see. What is the overall energy for you today? All right. And what do you need to hear? All right. You got the Ace of Swords out here in the upright, and that is first. And you got the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom. All right. So what else do we need to know here about this Ace of Swords? So you are believing in yourself. All right. Trusted in yourself. Trusted in your gut. Having strength. Whoa, that flew out. Which one is that? I couldn't get it, y'all. Oh, goodness. The Eight of Pentacles came right back out. Look at that. So Ace of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands. So this is something that you fought for. Or this is something that you stood your ground for. All right, but let's take a look here at your handy dandy guidebook. All right, and let's see what the message is here for your Ace of Swords. All right, so hold the card up as I read your message. All right, so for your Ace of Swords, it's time to cut, excuse me. It's time to cut through the fog and see things for what they really are. The Ace of Swords represents new ideas, progress, and additional clarity of action. You're about to take the first step toward new and exciting endeavors. Trust your intuition and act with confidence. The world is waiting for you to make your mark. All right. So the world is waiting for you to make your mark, and you're being asked to act with confidence and to trust your intuition. All right. So whatever you got going on right now, you have to be confident and you have to trust in yourself, trust your intuition. You know, it's kind of one of them things. Really believing yourself at this moment. That's what I'm getting. I'm just saying, you got the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands with the Knight of Cups right there peeking out. We see you. We see you. All right. So let's go to take a look here at your message for your Eight of Pentacles. All right. And then for your Eight of Pentacles, your message is you're fully committed to work, and it shows in the high quality of what you do. However, it's not about speed. It's about immersing yourself in your work and dedicating yourself to delivering the best version of it. It may not happen immediately, but if you keep working hard and are patient, eventually your efforts will pay off. All right. So eventually all this hard work that you're putting in is going to pay off. You know, and I know it's one of them things you always hear it. Oh, you put in a good work, you're going to get good things, you know. But if you're just putting in work and you're just hoping something's going to happen, then what do you think is going to happen? You know, but if you're putting in work and you're actually planning, you're building, you know, you see on this card, he's building, he's, crafting, he's carving that pentacle right there. That's him putting in the work. He has the hammer, he has the tools, he's ready to work, he's working. You get what I mean? He has the city right here behind his back. You know, so it's like one of them things where you got to trust in yourself and know that there are people that are going to support you in the work that you do, but you have to continuously put in the work. All right, you got the Seven of Wands here, that's on the bottom of the deck. So let's take a look here just at your Seven of Wands. And let's see what the message here for the Seven of Wands is. Oh, I see the Three of Swords that peeked out there. So the truth can hurt. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind when I seen that card. You know, the truth is painful. So I don't know, maybe there's some type of realization that you're coming to of some sort. And maybe that's what pushed you into this energy. It could be. What was underneath that Three of Swords? With the Hermit. Yeah, so whatever it is, maybe this is something that you needed to know, something that you needed to hear, something that you needed to do with the Seven of Cups so that you could decide on what you want to do. Do you want to go to the left or do you want to go to the right? All right, but let's go ahead and take a look here at your Knight. I seen the Knight, at your Seven of Wands. All right, you fought hard to get where you are, but that doesn't mean the battle is over. Some people will always be jealous of your success and try to bring you down. Rise above their petty actions and continue on your path. You deserve to be where you are. So stand your ground and fight for what's yours. All right. So continue to stand your ground. If you haven't been standing your ground, it's time to get up and start standing and fight for what's yours. All right. Once again, in this picture, you see how this woman's standing there. You got all these other ones, all these other people down here with their sticks, you know, and they're trying to go against her. But you see that look in her face? She is fierce and she's strong. And that's you. Because we don't give up. You know, no matter how many things are thrown our way, no matter how many people are trying to stop us, trying to hold us back, trying to make sure we don't make it to that next step, you got to keep going. All right? So you're definitely fighting back. You're standing your ground and you're doing what you got to do. All right. But at the same time, I think that this all happened after something else happened. Maybe there was some type of truth that was illuminated to you in some form or way, but something happened and I feel like it opened your eyes and it kind of like awakened you somewhat to understand and know what's going on or what to do or how to move or how to progress. All right. So you got the Ace of Swords as well as the Eight of Pentacles as your overall energy. Let's actually stick these right here. Can I push this up a little bit? Yeah. All right. And we have these. Not bad, y'all. We got this as your overall energy. Y'all know what the cards are. Y'all can see the pictures. All right. But let's go ahead. Let's dive in and let's get you some more energy here. And let's see what else you may need to know. All right. And I don't know, always starting new things, you know, I don't know why I just got the vibes of starting something new, but starting new things is never easy, you know, and things do take time. And at the same time, even things that you have been working on for many, many, many years, you know, sometimes you just have to see one thing from a different perspective and that thing can just go soaring, you know. But let's see what else you need to know. What else does a collective need to know here? All right, you got museum, artifacts and exhibits, interactive displays, museum collections. All right, so something is out. Somebody sees something or something's out on display for somebody. Bustling hub. Yeah, or maybe it's a community of people or it's something like that, but somebody sees something or maybe you see something. Maybe you see yourself as one of these exhibits in an art museum. You know, I don't know. Maybe you're going to have your work. I don't know. It could be because, you know, you're trusting in your intuition and you're working towards something. So it could be, let's just say you're working to get your work into a museum or you're working to get your work displayed in some type of way or to be exhibited in some type of way. All right. What else do we need to know here? You got living room. All right. Comfortable space, family gathering. All right. So something about a relaxed atmosphere. Bustling hub again. So maybe it's telling you to be relaxed around other people or to relax around other people when it comes to your work. Maybe you're somebody you could be a bit uptight, you know, when it comes to, I don't know, showing your work to other people or letting other people see your work, hear your work, feel your work. It's something like that. And I think it's just telling you to get a little bit more relaxed and comfortable when it comes to that. All right, exactly. And to look at things from a different perspective. Isn't that what I said earlier? All right, you got roof, overhead shelter, protective canopy, rooftop views. So I just think it's really maybe looking down on a certain situation. Not like looking down like in a negative way, but looking down on a situation like, all right, what can I do to change this? All right, what can I do to make myself feel a bit more comfortable? You know, or to feel a bit more at ease so that I can have my stuff displayed or I can put myself out here. All right, bottom of the deck, elevator. Exactly. Like how can you look at the situation differently to elevate yourself? All right, so that you can progress. All right, let's get something else here with roof. What else does the collective need to know? Couldn't get it out there. All right, you got lake, tranquil waters, reflections. So remember, you had that Three of Swords that was underneath. So like I said, maybe there was some type of reflection or was something that you had to see. See how that ring is on that card? I don't know. There was something that was illuminated to you in some type of way. And that is what may make you look at situations differently, or that's what's currently having you look at a situation or something differently. Bottom of the deck, swimming pool. It's a lot of water, so it could do with, you know, your emotional state of mind. All right, it could. I'm just saying, because you got lake and you also got swimming pool back to back. So it could have something to do with your emotions, you know, maybe not being in your emotions, maybe trusting in your intuition and not necessarily, I don't know, being emotional about things. You know that saying is strictly business, nothing personal. Maybe it's time to take like your personal feelings and your personal emotions out of a strategic business move or something like that. Let's just say you're working on a business, you know, or in this case, you're trying to get your work put in this museum, you know, but you're coming from an emotional standpoint. You know, of course, you're going to be emotional about your work, right? Oh, I bet y'all. Hold on. All right, the little notification came across my phone. My bad. I didn't even know it was on there. All right, but you're going to be, you know, you're going to be a bit emotional when it comes to putting yourself out here, putting your work out here. But at the same time, you know, you have to trust in the universe or trust in yourself, trust in your intuition, trust in your gut that this is what you're supposed to do. You know, just know that your work is that good. That's what it is, you know? Bottom of the deck. Oh, yeah, we already said swimming pool. All right, so let's go ahead and get one more for you. All right, and let's just see what else you may need to know here. All right, and you got library, book collection, reading notes, research, resources. All right, so maybe do your research in some type of way. Maybe see somebody that's been in your position or somebody that's currently in your position. You know, or research different ways on how you can maybe look at this in a different perspective. Or I don't know, I just have a feeling I keep getting creativity that's coming to mind. I don't know why, but that's like the word I'm getting is a bit of creativity. Maybe it's just being creative in different ways. Or I don't know, because, you know, you're getting more comfortable with putting yourself out here, putting yourself on display. So that's going to cause you to look at things from different angles, which could mean for you to get out of your emotions. You know, and to maybe not make decisions, especially when it comes to your work or your business or your future from an emotional standpoint. All right. And maybe in order for you to do that, you have to do some type of research. It could mean reading. It could mean going to a library. It could mean, you know, just researching certain things. You know, we have a world right now where, you know, the world is at your fingertips. You can Google, Bing, pretty much search anything that you need to search. All right. Bottom of the deck here, you had crossroads, multiple paths, turning point, divergent roads. Maybe that's where you're at right now, is you are at a turning point. You know, and it's either keep putting in the work, you know, and keep standing up for what you believe in and fighting back, or keep continuing to do what you're doing now. You know, and it could be maybe that's what you're doing now. Maybe you're continuously fighting battles, you know, and you're like ready to progress, but maybe the reason you're not progressing is because, once again, you're not putting yourself out here. It's almost like you got to learn to be comfortable enough to put yourself out here. And maybe that's going to take for you to look at something from a different perspective. I'm trying to think of another way to say it, but for you to like really look at something differently. You know, maybe there is something extremely special about you, you know, and maybe you don't even know how special you are. You don't know how special what you have to display is. Whatever this is extremely special, and it's something that you've worked hard for, but it's also something that seems to have you at some type of crossroads. It's like you want to do it, but at the same time you only don't want to do it because there's some type of uncomfortability about it, you know, whether that's you doing it, or you actually doing it, you know. I don't know, it's just maybe you're so concerned about what other people are going to think, what other people are going to say. It could be something like that. I don't know, but I feel like it's just time for you to fight back against those thoughts and those emotions. All right, but let's go ahead and close out your reading here, and let's get you a motivational quote from your spirit guides. All right, and let's see what your spirit guides would like for you to know. And also be sure to check out the shorts on my page. I've been creating these little motivational quotes daily. All right, so I'll go ahead and put another one up for today. Just make sure you check them out and get a random quote of the day. You just never know. It might be the message you need to hear. All right, but what would your spirit guides like for you to know in closing about your message here? All right, that one flipped on the floor. All right, your message that flipped out is take some time to rest. I feel like it was two. Take some time to rest and rejuvenate. You need to pace yourself with the changes that are coming your way. They are all positive. Bigger and better things are coming for you, so just relax and trust. All right, take some time to rest and rejuvenate. All right, and maybe that's where the library comes from, resting, rejuvenating. Just because you're resting don't mean you got to sit there and do absolutely nothing. It could mean you could be sitting there on your phone. Instead of scrolling on social media, you could be researching ways on how you can better the situation, better yourself, you know? Take some time to rest and rejuvenate. You need to pace yourself with the changes that are coming your way. And you know these changes are coming because you fought long and hard for these changes to come your way. All right, and it's time. You know, you deserve it. I'm just saying, what the future say, you deserve, I'll let him say it, but you deserve this, all right? But it's also very important that you also rest and rejuvenate yourself too, so that you're not burnt out, all right? Bottom of the deck here, you got, what areas of your life are you avoiding? Are they causing you upset, worry, disrupted sleep? If so, these are the areas you need to focus on. As much as you don't want to, it is necessary. Tackle your demons head on and don't allow them to rule you for a second longer. So what areas of your life are you avoiding? Because whatever those areas are the areas that are keeping you from putting yourself out there. Those are the areas, I'm trying to fix these back without messing them all up. Those are the areas that are keeping you from feeling comfortable with putting yourself out here on display. All right, I was trying to hold all three up, but whatever that is, it's almost like those areas are what's, you know, kind of stopping you from being extremely comfortable when it comes to whatever it is that you do. All right. So if these are the areas you need to focus on. As much as you don't want to, it is necessary, especially if you want to grow. You know, now if you want to keep sitting in the same spot that you're in right now, by all means, don't focus on those areas. But if you're ready to, you know, elevate, then I think it's time that you focus on those areas. All right, let's go ahead and get you a word here just to see if there is a word that may just sum up everything, you know, may just be one thing in general that you may need to focus on or you may need to work on. All right, let's see what you need to know here. I don't know why I just felt guided to do this deck. Patience, baby. All right, you're being asked to practice patience right now. It's not easy to do this, but you're strong, and there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them to in this moment. Have patience. It will eventually work out. So have patience. All right, have patience. You're going to be able to put yourself out here in the ways that you want to. All right, you're also going to have the strength to be able to look at yourself as well as other things in a different perspective or from a different light. All right. Like I said, it could have a lot because you're balancing. Look at this card. You're balancing things. You're balancing your emotions and you're also balancing your work. All right. So it's like you have to have patience because eventually both of those are going to be balanced and you're going to be able to do what you got to do. All right. But at the same time, it may just take a little bit of patience in order for you to get there. All right. Bottom of the deck here, you got healing. All right. So be patient because you're healing. All right, your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now, and you're going through many transformations at once. You're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing you need with open arms and an open heart. So if you want to get where you got to go, you got to have the patience that your body, mind, and soul are going to heal in the time frame that they're meant to heal. All right, you can't rush greatness. All right, when it's meant to come to you, it's going to come to you. I don't know what that come to you thing is, but whatever that is, it's going to come when it's meant to come. All right, so definitely having patience and healing. All right, allowing yourself to heal. That's a whole nother story. You know, actually giving yourself the time that you need to heal from a person, a place, a thing, a situation, a past, whatever the case is. All right, healing is not something that just happens overnight. All right, life itself is a healing journey. I'm just saying, you know, there are some things you're going to be able to get over within a blink of an eye, and some things they may take a little longer than others. Some even take a couple years. I'm just saying, it all depends on you, your situation, exactly what you're healing from. All right, but have patience that it's going to get done. All right, but at the same time, trust in yourself, trust in your gut, trust in your intuition. All right, but keep working. All right, rest. But keep working. Like I said, just because you're resting doesn't mean you ain't got to do nothing. There's always something that can be done. Yes, there's sometimes in the day I just think you should just to rest because it's, you know, extremely helpful. But at the same time, you know, if you know that you're stuck in a rut or you know that, you know what I mean? I don't know, every second counts, then you know that every second counts. Need I say more? All right. All right. But that is your message for today. If you're feeling the vibes, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can always be notified of those future episodes. And also be sure to tune back in here with me tomorrow to get your guided motivational reading. In the meantime, in between time, keep your head up, stay strong. All right. Have patience that you're going to heal. When you're meant to heal, you're going to heal what needs to be healed in the time frame that it needs to be. All right. But at the same time, don't give up. Keep working. Keep putting that work in. Rest your mind, your body, and soul when they need to be rested, but also work your mind, your body, and soul when they need to be worked. All right. All right. Have an awesome day, and I'll be sure to motivate you later.